there was a little girl and boy that was suspended from their school, 10 years old, these children, because they decided that they didn't want to participate in a LGBTQ lesson during Pride Month. Now, the particular school that the children go to is Heavers Farm Primary School in Croydon. That's a neighborhood in South London. Now, the girl and boy politely asked the teacher, could they be excused? They would not like to participate in this lesson. And they didn't disparage anyone. They just asked not to participate in it. And these children ended up getting suspended from the school. But let's go ahead and roll the clip.
I only learnt what homophobic means the other day. And it means that you don't like LGBT people. So I was confused when she said that I was being very homophobic. I'm not homophobic, I'm just against the point of putting it in schools and teaching it to children. I think that they're trying to confuse children into saying, what are you? Because before anybody knew what LGBT meant, everybody knew what gender they were. But now people are confused and they're saying that they're bisexual and trans because they're confused, and people are trying to say it's okay. But before all of this happened, they were completely confident of who they were, but now they're not. My mum isn't telling me to say this, it's completely myself, because my mum's not the one that's going to school to see this happening, I am. So this is my opinion and what I'm saying to stop LGBT lessons from happening in school. Because it's really affecting other kids, and even though you might not think that it's affecting other kids, it is, because now they are losing confidence in themselves and looking at themselves and thinking, why am I this person, why couldn't I be someone else?
I thought the teacher said this is actually doing good for the kids, it's bringing them knowledge and to be more happy with themselves. Are you saying that this is doing the opposite?
Yes, I'm saying that teachers and other people that are teaching this to young kids are completely wrong, because they're saying that it's doing children and people good, but it's not. Because before all this happened, people knew who they were and they knew who they're proud of, and they knew their self. But since this came out and into school, children are now facing the choice of what gender they are by the age of 4. Some people by the age of 4 are saying that I don't want to be a girl anymore, or I don't want to be a boy anymore. That's because schools or nurseries are trying to say to children that it's okay to become something else that you're not.
Now, because these children, as you heard what happened, said that, listen, I just don't want to participate in this, and that should be their right, okay? You're in school to learn about math, science. You need to learn the English language. Well, they in the UK, so I'm pretty sure they're going to learn the English language. You need to learn your social studies. You need to learn your history. You need to learn a whole lot of things. I don't want my child going to school learning about any kind of sexuality. Heterosexuality, they don't need to be knowing about that. Homosexuality, I don't care about any of that. My children are being sent to school to learn, to get an education, not to participate in things like that. Now, because these children said they would like to be excused, they said, listen, just my religious beliefs, I just like to be excused from this lesson, okay? Politely asked. The teacher snapped at these children and said, oh, do you want LGBTQ people to die? They said, no. I mean, I'm just asking to be excused from this. I don't want to participate in this. And basically what it was a paper that they had to color. That's what it was. It was just a coloring thing they had to do. And they didn't want to color this paper. And they should have a right. Then they went to the principal and the principal shouted at these children that they're such a disappointment to the school. Now, as a parent, I would have went completely off on that teacher. I went completely off on that principal. Ain't no way you gonna talk to my child like that and yell at my child. My child has a right to say if he or she want to participate in something like that. And I will support my children 100% on that. Okay, that's how they feel. That's the way they're being raised at the time period. Just because you say I don't want to participate in something doesn't mean you hate anybody. Now, these children are suspended for 5 days from school. And for what? For what? There's no reason to suspend them because they don't want to color something. It wasn't part of the curriculum. It wasn't any class. It was just one thing. And that caused you to be suspended 5 days. This is why I don't have my little one in these people's public schools. I refuse to let them put any kind of things in their head. No child, I don't care what child it is, no child should be knowing anything about any kind of sexuality at 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. None. I don't care if it's man, woman, whatever else, heterosexual, homosexual, I don't care. They should not be knowing that. They can learn that when they get of age, when they mature enough to handle that. Eventually down the line, they're going to look into things like that. I understand that. But as them being little children, let them be little children. Because I'm going to tell you something. All these people putting all this mess on children, this has a lot to do with pedophilia. Understand that. And we as parents need to protect our children, period. These people, especially that in America, that Democrat Party, they don't say nothing about, things like this. Our children need to be truly educated. Our children are falling behind in education. You're worrying about the wrong thing. This is why I support people creating private schools for the children, especially in our community. We must do that to properly educate our children. With all the race soldiers in schools that we have and all these teachers running around, themselves being pedophiles in schools. I mean, but what this little girl's done and them suspending her 5 days, my child would have been out of that school. She would not come back because there ain't no way you're going to treat my child like that. You're going to yell at my child and lie and say my child wants something to happen to LGBTQ people because they don't want to color something. Really? Did they say that? No. You're lying on these children. You always try to demonize black children when they take a stand for themselves, for what their personal choice should be. So I guess we should allow people just to, abuse children like that, because that's abusive. Saying they want people to die and yelling you're a disappointment to the school. I'm like, you're a disappointment of life. Trying to bully a little kid. That should be disappointing. Well, leave me a comment, let me know what you think about this particular story. But my brothers and sisters in London, listen to me. Create your own schools. Create them. You got the talent. You got a lot of black men and women to teach the children. Create your own schools. Don't allow these people to dictate to your children what they should and should not be doing. Don't do that. Don't let them talk down to your children. Don't let them suspend your children just because your child don't want to participate in something. She said, that's my religious belief, so I just kind of just not want to participate in it, and you're demonized and suspended. No. Create your own schools.